Okay. Trump, when Trump wins the election, I had already put a real short video because insider information from Congress, from the Dems, they said on day one they're going to impeach him. And they're also, if they win the House, which they're not going to do, if they win the House, they're not going to certify the election. But anyway, remember in 2020, cities burning, not complete cities, but different cities from Antifa riots, BLM riots. Does anybody wonder why you haven't seen anything about BLM and Antifa for quite some time? Think about that. They've been dead silent. Why? They're all, because they've been too quiet. So they're planning something. Maybe they're not. Well, everybody's always planning something, so I guess you could say they're planning something. Realistically, I really think this is an extremely dangerous time for the United States citizens. And the reason I say that is they tried to assassinate Trump twice. The first bullet clipped his ear. He turned at the last second. Whether you say it was God or whatever, me, personally, I just say it wasn't his time. When your number's not up, it's not up. Then they tried again down there at the golf course, but a Secret Service guy was actually doing his job, seen the barrel of the gun poking out from the bushes, from the bushes, and he took a shot at the guy. Then they finally captured him. Do you really think that's the end of it? If you look at the first assassination attempt, the FBI is still dicking around. That was July 26th, I believe. I'm not positive on the date, but it was back in July, the first attempt. What has the FBI done? You don't hear about it anymore. Well, the fake news, they don't report the truth anyway, or half the stuff they don't report. They report all negative stuff. But the FBI, what are they doing? If that would have been Harris getting shot at, or Biden, their shit would have hit the fan. There would have been a multitude of arrests. But anyway, so they're kind of like sweeping under the rug. The fake news quit reporting on it because they don't care. The majority of them really want Trump dead. He's had all kinds of threats. Anyway, with the election coming up in a couple of days, well, Tuesday. Today is Saturday. They're not done yet, because if you look at, you have Kennedy now, RFK Jr., going after Big Pharma because of all the chemicals in our foods and all the drugs. Every time we turn around, there's a new drug and a new disease. When I grew up, you didn't have all these weird-ass diseases. But anyway, so I'm concerned about Kennedy also, because Big Pharma pays for one of the top executives at ABC, Big Pharma, basically is paying his salary. Because of the advertisements, they make an ungodly amount of money. So anyway, they're going after Big Pharma and the chemicals in the food industry. So they are totally against Kennedy. A lot of what Trump wants to do, they don't want any of that stuff coming out. 2 assassination attempts, and basically they were swept under the rug. They're not done. Before he takes office on January 20th, I fully believe there will definitely be another attempt on his life. You have Antifa and BLM putting their chess pieces where they need them. Maybe they're not. I'm not saying they are. This is what I personally feel. So, like Independence Day, you position your pieces, and then you do it all at once. And BLM, Antifa, they're too quiet. Look all the terrorists that have been allowed to come into this country through Biden and Harris. China, there's a shitload of Chinese men, army age, that we've allowed to come into this country. Why do the Chinese need to sneak in through the southern border? That's kind of nutty, right? 20+ million illegals have come in. Over 1 million gotaways, okay? have come into this country. A million gotaways, you don't know who those people are because they don't want to get caught. We knowingly let in 400,000 plus criminals. 13,000 were convicted of murder. There was rapists, petty crimes. But anyway, the point is 400,000 of them came in. The other point is, out of those 1 million gotaways, who are they? A lot of them could be terrorists. So anyway, they're not done trying to take Trump out. And they also, which I said at the beginning of this, that they're going to impeach him, and they already said if they win the House, they're not going to certify the election. Now, isn't that funny how they change, how they flip-flop? So, I don't know. You have these Chinese that own, 400,000 acres or something like that of our land that our government allowed them to purchase. Fertilizer bombs. Those are easy to make. And they're like, well, we keep an eye on who's buying all this fertilizer. Well, the Chinese own all that farmland. They can buy all the fertilizer they need in diesel to make the bombs. Not to mention the terrorists. So I really think if nothing happens on the 5th, the day after, or it'll take probably 2 or 3 days to actually call the election. Trump will win. He flips New York. He's got it. He's got it won. But anyway, I fear for Trump's life and innocent lives because I really think BLM, Antifa, the terrorists that have been allowed to enter this country are up to something because it's too damn quiet. So I don't know if you're a praying person, you might want to pray that none of this happens. So I wanted to keep this short. But anyway, yeah, they're not done trying to take President Trump out. They're not going to stop. They are in desperation mode. They are pulling out all the stops. Harris is crashing in all the polls, even the NBC, CBS, MSDNC, all of them. The polls are showing Trump winning, maybe not by a landslide, but he's going to win the electoral and the popular vote both. They don't want that. They have to stop him at all costs. With the FBI investigating the first assassination attempt, you had the head of Secret Service step down, and she said, I'm not going to step down. Well, behind closed doors, you really don't know what was said. And it's like, well, we need a sacrificial lamb. You're it. So she stepped down. Now, Secret Service said there were so many missteps, right? There were too many missteps in the first assassination attempt. Yeah, because they thought they were going to be able to take him out, and the guy missed at the last second. Innocent person got killed, and 2 others got shot. And then, of course, the fake news and half the demons out there were saying, oh, it was a setup, that never really happened. Oh, come on, really? But anyway, I really feel that they are just sitting there, putting all the chess pieces in place, and as soon as Trump wins the election, BLM and Antifa, watch what happens. Maybe nothing will happen. I hope nothing happens. I hope this is everything goes peaceful, but it won't. Because you have Antifa and BLM. And, look at all the riots they did. And they're just sitting there nice and quiet. Terrorists are sitting there quiet. They have something up their sleeve. Everybody is about to make their move. China, they got to make their move before January 20th when Trump takes office. North Korea sent 8,000 troops to help fight the Ukrainians. So you have that cluster in the Middle East and in Europe is explosive situation. There's no way around it. Big moves are about to be made. And it's going to throw us into World War III more than likely. I hope not, but that's the way everything's pointing. If you look at all the intelligence, you look at everything that's coming, yeah, the shit's going to hit the fan. I hope it doesn't. But on January 20th, the president is out in front of the White House or Capitol getting sworn in. Okay, and yes, they're behind, bulletproof glass. It's been that way for, Booba Baba, Biden, Trump, and others. They haven't protected. But the amount of people that show up for those, can they really make sure Because like in the rallies, they have machines set up so when people walk through them, they know they're not carrying a gun or a knife or whatever. Like if you show up with a good, like I use 35 millimeter cameras, really good ones. If I was to show up at one of the rallies with that camera, I couldn't go in with it because they don't know if there could be something in the camera. Dumb, right? So anyway, there's no way they're going to be able to secure that area where the Capitol is, not the Capitol itself. But when Trump's being sworn in, I don't think there's any way possible they're going to be able to totally secure that area. And all you need is even if they can't take out Trump, all you need is a handful of terrorists because they don't care about life at all. And okay, you could say, okay, well, they're not going to have an explosive vest on because that's too obvious. Or a backpack. The backpack is too obvious. Explosive vest, you can cover that easy. It's going to be cold. It's going to be January 20th. People are going to be wearing coats and jackets. And you can't secure that big of an area. They just let people come in. You know, if you think about how large of an area that is. And I really think that, getting back to the Secret Service, they came out and released a statement buried deep, very deep, stating that there were a lot of missteps, right? Missteps, and people will be not held accountable. They says people will be getting disciplined. Why hasn't that already happened? So anyway, I'm dragging on. But anyway, I really feel that the shit's going to hit the fan. Election day, shortly after, and on January 20th, when President Trump takes office. And they've already said, the Dems have already said they're not going to certify the election if they control the House. Republicans will still control the House, and they'll control the Senate by a very small margin. So it's going to be tight. But anyway, if you believe in prayer and all that, you better start praying. Because they're out there, chess pieces are being put in position, they're out there, and they want to stop Trump no matter what. The first attempt assassination, that was only in the news for a day or two, and then they dropped it. You never hear about it. The second attempt with the guy down in Florida with the rifle. How in the hell was that guy able to get onto the golf course where Trump was playing? Think about that. How in the hell did that happen? But a Secret Service agent seen the guy, took a shot, and the guy ran. One Secret Service agent there was doing his job ahead of where Trump and everything was, and he spotted. That's a good third eye, dude. And how did he get that close? They say, well, it wasn't that close. No, from where he was, he could have took a shot, but he would have missed. But point being, how in the hell did he even get on the golf course when it was supposed to be secure for Trump? You think that was an accident? And that's why I keep going back to President Kennedy, because he was assassinated, and there's no way that should have happened. But he was a people person. General Patton, after World War II, he had the pull of the military and the people. They literally were afraid that he was going to run for presidency and he would have won. So, I'm not saying that they had him killed, but he was in a Jeep. The Jeep rolled over, all right? Patton was killed, but his driver literally had no scratches on him. How does an open Jeep roll over? Patton gets killed. The driver was perfectly fine. Yeah. There was some weird shit going on there when I was in the military. Some people dug up some information. But anyway, if you want to subscribe, hit the little B in the bottom right-hand corner. You need 1,000 people to make money. That's never going to happen. I'm stuck like at 379, 380. Yeah, but I don't care. I'm not in this to make money. But anyway, make sure you get out and vote. You know, Trump's leading right now, all the early vote in some of the Senate and Congress seats. Early vote is pushing a lot of them. There's a lot of seats up for grabs. But anyway, I'm rattling on. So anyway, keep an eye out. Say prayers if you do the whole prayer thing, because it's about to hit the fan, and it's going to hit the fan hard. So anyway, thanks for watching.